Is this honestly surprising that Trump hasn't paid his attorneys or doesn't really pay anybody he hires? How do you think Trump keeps stealing money from people?
Several of the attorneys who represented Donald Trump's efforts to overturn the 2020 election were never paid for their work.
What?
He doesn't pay anybody.
I mean,
He's so cheap.
like seriously, did they not know this going in?
They're just so excited to be with him.
Like, did they, like, are they like now going, oh my God, you mean he
What? He doesn't pay?
You mean the great pumpkin doesn't rise from the pumpkin patch?
It doesn't.
Every Halloween evening to
That
give
big orange pumpkin.
candy to good boys and girls?
This latest news is according to testimony from congressional investigators and Federal Election Commission records. Not only were they not compensated.
Wait, but he stole $250 million from his supporters.
You're so dumb.
Yeah, how do people think Trump stays rich? It's not by paying people a lot of money, it's by claiming he will pay them and never paying them.
And he lied to his supporters that this was to stop the steal. He raised $250 million and he did not pay them?
Not only were they not compensated, I feel like we can make fun of this a little bit. You know, I don't like it when Donald Trump has taken advantage of people.
What's like the Jim?
But he hasn't taken advantage of people. He just tells people what they want to hear, and if they want to give him money, that's their choice.
Tammy Faye Baker thing I always said about my grandma.
Yeah. There are innocents in this. These are not one of them. These lawyers.
These lawyers, no.
Anyhow, not only were they not compensated, their lawsuits and false claims helped the Trump campaign and allies raise $250 million. As CNBC reports, among those who were stiffed, Trump's closest ally, Rudy Giuliani. The records show that Giuliani's companies were only reimbursed for travel and not the $20,000 a day he requested to be paid.
Trump Trump has allies, but he's not an ally to anybody else. All he sees everybody else is just somebody that he can use to get a little bit more money, because that's how he's grown up. All about using people to steal money from people.
That's a whole nother story.
Yeah, but I've got to say,
$20,000 a day?
I've got to say, Giuliani may not have gotten paid for his work with Donald Trump after the election, but he did get indicted. So there's that. 6 of one, half dozen of the other. But David.
Yeah, Rudy Giuliani at least got something for his work with Trump, and he's definitely not worth $20,000 a day. He's not even worth $1 a day.
French, I always talk about the, how my grandma would send her Social Security checks, sadly, even though my parents tried to intervene, to Jim and Tammy Faye Baker while they were building their massive multi-million-dollar scam operation out of in Charlotte, North Carolina. And here, I mean, we've seen Steve Bannon sent to jail, or at least arrested for his phony scheme to raise, I don't know, $10 million or whatever to build the wall.
Yeah, didn't he get arrested by postal agents on his yacht? It was awesome.
I find it hard to believe that Jack Smith doesn't come back later with a superseding indictment that doesn't go after this $250 million that Donald Trump fraudulently raised, claiming the election was rigged when he knew it wasn't rigged.
Yeah, if the government wanted to, yeah, they can charge Trump and anybody else who used the false claims of the election to raise money, as it's considered wire fraud. If you willingly know something is a lie and you use that to raise money.
I mean, that seems to be, that would have been the first crime I would have brought as a prosecutor, because it would have been the easiest to prove.
Well, believe it or not, it's probably going to be easier to prove the crimes that Smith has already charged than that one. I mean, there's going to be a lot of latitude when you're raising money for a campaign, for a cause. You've got a lot of latitude in how you spend those dollars. And so it's actually going to be easier to do what Jack Smith did in the absence of smoking guns regarding fraudulent intent, for example, say in the fundraising, it's going to be a lot easier to do what Smith did. He did that sort of, instead of the shotgun blast indictment, he did much more of the rifle shot indictment, narrowly focused on the specific claims related to the effort to overturn the election. I think he wants to get to trial on this matter as soon as he possibly can. And the more he lards up his indictment of Trump, the slower that case is going to proceed. So I might be a little, could be wrong, but I might be a little bit surprised if he throws anything else, into the stew in this court, in this case in D.C.